Hey everybody, this is Ty Terrell with iFast University, and we're starting a YouTube live stream just to kind of connect with everybody a little bit better, and and just to kind of give a little bit of insight and plant some seeds into what iFast University is all about. So I'm really excited about this because this is kind of like a way just to dump thoughts and that are in our head and frustrations or new ideas or just anything that comes across our mind throughout a day. So um, one thing I want to talk about is, and I'm passionate about speed. And if you know, seen anything I do or listen to me talk, I talk about speed all the time. And so, what I want to kind of dive into, it just challenge us coaches to take a look at our own speed programs and ask, are they benefiting our athletes, and are they real speed programs? Or are they full of just random drills that are designed to be tough and cool? And this is what LeBron James does, and so forth. Or I saw this on YouTube, and I want to try it. And if that's all we're doing, if we're just literally just throwing stuff at a wall and hoping it sticks, I would challenge you as a coach to kind of step it up and go up a little bit. So when I think about speed programs, I'm more talking about like multi-directional speed, speed and agility, or in-game speed. It's kind of what I like to refer to it as. And I mean in-game speed. When I say that, I mean it in a way that our athletes, or our training is going to have to transfer out to an athlete's sport. So if we're not designing our training in a manner that's going to do so, then we're just training for the sake of training. We're not training for the sake of performance. And so when I look at speed programs, whether it's our college athletes that have programs brought into us, or I'm asked to consult or help out, or I'm designing my own speed programs. I'm constantly critical, and I'm critical of no other person more than I am myself. Every 4 weeks, I write a new training block for an athlete, and I'm always thinking like, man, did I get what I wanted? Did I go where I wanted? Does my athlete look how I thought they would look at the end of that 4 weeks? And so you're constantly asking the whys and the whats and the hows, and I think that allows you to grow, because it forces you to be critical of what you're doing and ask, like, did that help? And if it did or it didn't, it makes you take ownership of your own programming. So I'm kind of rambling here, but to kind of break it down and get to the point, there's a couple things that need to be included in a multi-directional athlete. If you need to teach, which a lot of us coaches do, we need to have some rehearsed stuff in there, some lower intensity, lower, maybe not highly competitive drills where we're teaching a skill. We're giving the athlete an opportunity to, one, understand and feel the position and the motion that they're supposed to be, that we want them to be doing, and two, make mistakes and then make them own those mistakes. I ask my athletes, what did you feel there? I don't give them a lot of answers right up front. I want them to kind of work their way, through how they feel, because when they get to their sport, they're going to have to make those corrections on the fly. It can't be me or coach, whoever else, saying, hey, did you notice that you were a little bit high when you went into that cut? No, they just make these decisions, in split seconds. And so we have to have some teaching drills in there, some lower intensity, low competitive drills that are rehearsed. They can learn these skills. But as soon as they show that they have that skill, as soon as they show competency in that skill, it's time to take them to another level. So that another level may just mean something a little bit faster, a little bit more intense. It may be introducing competition into the mix. And so we're increasing the complexity of these drills in order to attain a higher competency of the skill. So if you're always just throwing random cone drills or ladder drills or whatever we're doing at the athlete with no end goal in mind, I don't know that we're necessarily programming very well or benefiting our athletes very well. And so when I really started this talk, what I really wanted to get at was knowing where you're going and knowing where you're starting. So starting starts with just a simple assessment. You may just watch your athlete and do the assessment, or you may have a more intricate assessment process that's available to you that you guys use. But you have to know where you want to go with your athlete. You have to know where you want your athlete to end up, and then you need to work backwards. Bill and Tony and I were in the office talking about this very thing, and it made me think that, like, man, how many of us coaches actually lay out a plan and with a destination in mind and work towards that, or program with the intent of moving towards that. And I don't know, I mean, I catch myself, I don't know that I do that all the time. And so this is turning from a speed and agility talk to a programming talk, but I think what I would do is not I think, what I would recommend any coaches out there, and I do this myself, criticize your programming and look and say, where can I get better? Is my athlete changing like I want them to change? It's not always the athlete's fault. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. And so pick a destination where you want your athlete to be in this 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, off season, whatever annual plan, whatever you want it to be. Pick that destination and start working backwards. And that'll help you start to eliminate some, maybe exercises or skills to work on that you just may not have the time and energy to do. It'll force you to prioritize your skills that you're trying to work on with your athletes, whether it's force production, elasticity. Maybe you're breaking down the mechanics of a sprint, wanting them to get better hip extension or frontal plane action or whatever it may be. So start with the destination and work backwards. And that, as a matter of fact, I am actually, after that conversation, I think it's easy to get in ebbs and flows of a year and laws and so forth. But after last week's conversation, I am literally taking a look at every single one of my programs with my athletes and trying to kind of just regroup and dial back in and say, okay, let's take a fresh look. Let's start wipe the slate clean. Where are they and where do they need to go? And then I'm going to work backwards from there and we're just going to see what happens. I know this. Just by taking a deeper look and by picking a destination, I'm already going to be bettering my athletes because I'm going to be closer to giving them what they need. So anyways, with all that rambling in mind, to kind of wrap it up, pick a destination, work backwards, and let all your programming move you towards that destination. So with that said, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you next time. This is Ty Terrell with iFast University.